Welcome to English 7 covered by Miss Tao in the Super Memory for Schools programme. Dear students, in the previous lesson we followed Liz to visit the coastal city of Nha Trang. Today we continue to learn more about sea animals in Nha Trang. Today we will learn Unit 9 at Home and Away, Section A, A Holiday in Nha Trang, A2, A3 and A4. Let's take a look at today's vocabulary. What do we have? We have shark, dolphin, crab, turtle, exit, poster, cap, where, keep in touch, diary, rent, improve, and instead. Let's learn more about these words carefully. First, we have shark. Shark. Dolphin, dolphin. Crab, crab. Turtle, turtle. Exit, exit. Poster, poster. To wear. Cap, to keep in touch. Diary, to rent. To improve. Instead. We'll have coffee instead of tea. So, I finished introducing you to today's vocabulary. Let's review together. We have shark, dolphin, crab, and turtle. In addition, we also have exit, poster, cap, where, keep in touch, diary, rent, improve, and finally, instead. Dear students, we have just finished learning today's vocabulary. Next, let's come to the grammar section. In the previous lesson, we learned the past simple tense. Today, we continue to review and learn more about past simple tenses of regular and irregular verbs. First, I will talk about irregular verbs. Past simple tense of irregular verbs, you will take the verb in column 2 in the table of irregular verbs. We often call it verb 2. I have some example as follows. I have a verb, see. My verb 2 will be saw, wear, wore, eat, ate. Think, thought, buy, bought, get, got, teach, taught. These are irregular verbs. Next, regular verbs. Regular verbs mean that we add the ed ending at the end of the verb. For example, I have arrived, the past simple of it would be arrived. Stop, stopped. Rent, rented. Return, returned. Look, looked. Improve, improved. Move, moved. Let's come up with some examples to learn more about this. We have an example. They saw sharks, dolphins and turtles. In this sentence, which word is the verb in the past simple tense? It's the word saw. Next, the family rented an apartment. What about in this sentence? In this sentence, the verb in the past simple tense is rented. And the last example, Liz wore the cap all day. The verb in the past simple tense is the word wore. Dear students, in regular verbs we will add the ed endings. So some students ask me how to pronounce the ed sound. Well, so today I will show you how to pronounce the ed ending. Ed ending will be pronounced as follows. There are 3 ways. The first way, the ed ending will be pronounced as id. Second, the ed ending will be pronounced as t. And the third way, the ed ending will be pronounced as d. So how do we know when to pronounce id, t, or d? Let's see the ed ending will be pronounced as id when the verb ends in t or d. For example, I have the verb wait, ending sound is t. Then add the ed ending, id ending will be pronounced as id, waited, waited. Very easy, isn't it? Next I have the verb end, ending with d. When adding ed ending, ed will be pronounced as id, ended, ended. The second way, the ed ending will be pronounced as t, when the verb has sounds ending in voiceless sounds. So what is a voiceless sound? We have 6 voiceless sounds. Voiceless sounds are the sounds when we speak. Air will be emitted from the mouth and usually we only hear the sound of the air. Put your hand on your throat and you won't feel your throat vibrate. We have 6 voiceless sounds. Listen carefully. The first is p. Next is f. Next, k. Then s. Finally, ch. Finally, ch. So these are 6 voiceless sounds. When the verb ends in one of these 6 soundless sounds, the ed ending will be pronounced as t. So let's take a look at some examples. First, I have the verb drop. Its sound ends in p, so the ed ending will be pronounced as t. Dropped, dropped. Next, I have the verb laugh. Its sound ends in f. The ed ending will be pronounced as t. Laughed, laughed. And finally, we have look. Its sound ends in k. The ed ending will be pronounced as t. Looked, looked. Very interesting, isn't it? Next, I have the verb kiss, which ends in s. Then the ed ending will be pronounced as t. Kissed, kissed. The verb wash has a sound ending in sh, so the ed ending will be pronounced as t. Washed, washed. The verb watch has a sound ending in ch, so the ed ending will be pronounced as t. Watched, watched. Very easy and very interesting, isn't it? The third way, the ed ending will be pronounced as d, for verbs ending in voice sound. So what is the voiced sound? Voice sounds are the sounds that you pronounce where you can feel your throat vibrate when touching your throat. Let's try it. For example, love, love. Doesn't our throat vibrate when we pronounce v? V. So they are voice sounds, but to make it easier to understand, I call them the remaining sounds. Thus, verbs ending in remaining sounds are not the ones that are mentioned above. Add the ed ending and the ed ending will be pronounced as d. For example, opened, loved. Very easy, isn't it? So today, the grammar we have learned, the past simple tense of regular verbs and irregular verbs. With irregular verbs, you take the verbs from column 2 in the table of irregular verbs. For regular verbs, you add the ed ending. And we have 3 ways to pronounce the ed ending. Do you still remember? The first way is id, the second is t, and the third is d. Remember to practice more to pronounce the ed ending very well. Today's lesson ends here. I wish you all the best in your studies. See you in the next English lesson covered by Miss Tao in the Super Memory for Schools program. Goodbye.